first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick and Taylor Kyles here for CLNS Media, back with a special edition of the Patriots Daily Podcast here. A quick hitter on our old friend Bill Belichick down at Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So some Patriots adjacent news. A couple reports here on this Wednesday coming out of Chapel Hill. The first one, 24/7 Sports' Andrew Jones reporting that UNC officials are looking to potentially buy out and move on from Bill Belichick. This comes, as we know, amid a 2-3 start to the season down there. Some unhappy parents of players. I don't know if you saw that reporting, Taylor, but parents aren't too thrilled about how things are being run down there at UNC. And there's been some rules violations as well. Apparently, a defensive backs coach got in trouble for a rules violation last week. And then Ollie Connolly as well, who was, first and foremost, Ollie was all over Belichick originally going to UNC the first time. He was all over Steve Belichick being set up as kind of the heir apparent to Bill. So I do trust his word with what's going on down there. He added that Bill Belichick himself has also discussed his own options to be on the out. So the interesting kind of dichotomy here is that if it's a buyout on North Carolina's side, they owe him $30 million, but Bill can leave for $1 million if it is on his own accord. So long story short, Taylor, there is a lot of smoke going on around this thing. There has been for quite some time. There's been a back and forth with Bill and the Patriots, them not allowing scouts down at Chapel Hill. Apparently, a ruling from Belichick that we're not going to promote Drake May and the Patriots because of what's gone on.
Until they got put on blast.
Yeah, they got put on blast and then essentially forced to tweet about Drake May. So this thing's been an abject disaster from the start. Ollie Connolly also adding that a lot of Belichick's coaching staff members have already started reaching out to some other teams to see what their options for coaching will be this year. Some people inside the building wondering if Bill will be gone within the next couple of weeks. UNC is on a bye week right now. So it feels like this was kind of the week where they've sort of started to readjust exactly what they're thinking down there in Chapel Hill. So wanted to come on here, react to it for a little while, but man, the end of the Belichick era in New England was not great, and it looks like his time in Chapel Hill may soon be coming to a close as well.
And it, I think, just adds more weight to how his Patriots tenure ended. Because I think here we understood, and like Robert Kraft is not absolved of guilt. Like,
of course,
behind Bill's back, he did something that I'm sure he knew Bill was not going to be very happy about. And then it turned into a whole, you know what. And then obviously, making them, whatever. This isn't about Kraft. But Kraft was not innocent in this. Sure. But still, we knew Bill was bad. And then it seemed like his ego had gotten in the way, as we knew hiring your friend who is incompetent to be an offensive coordinator and offensive line coach, two of the hardest jobs in football as assistant coach, and you're putting all of that on his plate, which is insane, and him thinking he can even do it, and just always feeling like he needs to have his guys, which is understandable. But when it's clear that the players that you add and the coaches that you want to hire are not good, at some point, the dam's going to break. Right. And I think that the cutting Mac Jones off, like not talking to him anymore, the way that he iced out Gerard Mayo. At the time, I think I was still very much in Bill we trust because he's had so much success. And I 100%. Think I was also ignorant to the business of football and maybe not as sensitive to how just unhinged a lot of the things he was doing is. Like, not talking to your starting quarterback. I realized it was bad, but now you realize, like, oh my God, like it was probably there was probably no fluff there.
Well, and in Ollie's thread that he wrote about what's going on at UNC, he mentions that Belichick's communication with his staff over the last couple of weeks has been, quote, weird and distant with multiple members of UNC staff. So like he's doing the same shit there that he was here. So like you said, it just makes it all the more real how it actually ended here in Foxboro.
And I said all that to say, and that's what he was doing as assistant coaches. We know he basically didn't use his scouting department. It was like, I know better than you, despite drafting terribly year after year after year. So we knew his ego was big. I hoped that he would reset, saying, I want to be the 33rd team, knowing that you're working with kids.
Right.
And trying to set them up for the future, and that maybe in the NFL it's all about you, and it can be because you can get away with it because it's about money. And obviously college football is still very much about money, but it's not the same. Like, these are kids and you have power over them. The NFL, You don't really have power over anybody other than I'm Bill Belichick with 6 Super Bowl rings, or more Super Bowl rings, obviously. But, with the Patriots. But that's the part that disgusts me about this, is that it's not even just like, okay, he had a really, an owner who kind of got in the way more than he liked. The situation soured. He'd been there for a good point, Taylor. All these things, like it's longevity. It happens. It's complicated. Even if still he was not good at the end there, and like did a lot of really scummy things.
Right.
This, I don't even like talking about drama.
I know.
This has got me to rant several times because I think this is disgusting what he's done. To be trusted with parents, like, yeah, the parents should be pissed off. You have these people who are trusting their child's welfare to you in terms of you helping, again, set them up for the future, get them these NFL jobs, or just like raise them also. Like a huge role for middle school, high school, college football coaches is to be a bit of a mentor figure and somebody that these guys can look up to. And look, again, it's $1 billion industry.
Right.
Part of that is, a little bit pie in the sky. You got like Dabo Sweeney running around. You got some pretty scummy dudes that are running football programs, so they're not all saints. But at least you're hoping, okay, even if he's not the nicest guy, even if he's not going to be that leader, like he's going to coach my kid and he's going to make them better.
And he can give them a shot at the NFL, which is what they were trying to promise.
Exactly. And for you to not only do that, but to blatantly, obviously the Jordan Hudson stuff, which I'm not even going to get involved in. I'm not as up to date on that as I probably could be. But obviously that's a whole clusterfuck on its own. But now when it comes to, again, the kids, like you are putting your ego to the forefront by keeping, like the Patriots are on the rise. What if by the end of the season, they're a legit playoff team again?
Right.
And you're not going to let scouts go over and watch your players. And I'm pretty sure he was doing it to other teams as well. And just to make this whole thing about you while saying it's not about you, but also having your girlfriend very much make it about you, doing all these media appearances, switching up how you act with people, in terms of, oh, well, yeah, I'll do media stuff. I don't want to go around and be Mr. Popular or whatever. It's just, I was hoping at least through all this bullshit, he would at least still, be good to his players. And even if the season didn't go well, I think a lot of people thought that this was still going to be a year where they struggled, but at least you saw some fight. And, when things got real, you keep the drama to a minimum and you do what you got to do to preserve the rest of the season and the integrity of your program. He's done the exact opposite. At every opportunity, he has found a way to make this about him. And not only that, but also like hiring all your friends who clearly are doing a very good job because your team sucks. Right. You're only beating teams that are like FCS level competition. I don't know how all the conferences work, but like,
but you're right.
Not very good. Like, and those are and then against fairly competent teams, you're getting blown out.
Blown out, Taylor. Blown out. It's bad.
Like I'm not. This is like not my lane. I
like it though. We got you to get on the. We got you to get it on the.
The only reason that I really care is that you were screwing over kids who trusted you with their welfare, and now like who knows what happens? Maybe this dings them and they lose stars or whatever. However it works, I don't know. But I am really disgusted with what Bill has done with that program. How he's like, I don't care about the boosters. I don't care about the people that are financially well. I could give a shit. I care about these young men and their families, and you just selling them a fantasy when all you did was drag your baggage from New England, bring it to North Carolina, and drag them to depths I don't know if they've ever been in necessarily, because I don't know if they've ever been this popular in their football program.
No, that's the
or
thing,
like in the national spotlight like they are. So you brought them all the way up and now they're plummeting because of you and your decision. And that pisses me off a lot. And I can't stand it. Like I don't know if any sports person outside of obviously like committing whole crimes has done more to damage their reputation. To the point where, like, obviously he's going into the Hall of Fame, but, like, we had the Russell Wilson conversation kind of jokingly.
Yeah.
But, like, bro, yeah, he isn't very good, but this is a whole different thing where you are a Hall of Fame coach who's now just continuously just hurting the teams that you're on while still being an asshole. That stuff is fine when you're winning, but when when the past few years are happening, that shtick is done. And for you to not adapt and to still think that you're so good, so smart and better than everybody and walking around like your shit don't stink, I think that's ridiculous. And I hope that they get him out of there as quickly as possible. I don't care what it takes. Like, please find some adults to put in front of these kids.
So that's the other side of the coin here. And you made so many great points there, especially the fact that, it is about the kids in college football. And he goes and he recruits and he goes into these these families' living rooms and he looks their parents in the eye. I'm going to take care of your kid. We're going to be the 33rd NFL team. They're going to learn this, blah, blah, blah. And then it's a complete train wreck, right? That's the one side of it. The other thing with Ollie's follow-up reporting is the fact that Bill is looking to buy himself out. Because on one hand, it looked like, and the structure of his deal was apparently $10 million over 5 years, $30 million guaranteed. That equals a $30 million buyout for them on their side. Bill's buyout on his end was apparently $10 million through June 1st. And then it went to $1 million because I think both sides understood that ultimately he wanted to get back to the league. Now it's a complete dumpster fire. It's still a $1 million buyout, and he's looking to get out, and he's going to quit on all these kids. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like how it's going, and he knows it's a disaster, but instead of bucking up and grabbing himself by the bootstraps and trying to be the Bill Belichick everybody thought he was, we're going to fight through it, he's like, no, maybe they're right, and before they can fire me, I'm going to quit on my own accord. And I think that's even more BS, because at least try and give it a little bit of effort and be like, no, we're going to do this. We're going to work through this. We stink right now, but we're going to, again, pick ourselves up and do it. And instead he's going to quit. That's BS to me too.
And the recruiting violation.
Right.
Does he even still get the bailout? I don't know the contract details, but I'm pretty sure. You think UNC didn't know about that? You think they had no idea that there was a recruiting violation? I find that very hard to believe. I think they wanted to keep that. This is pure speculation. Like I'm very ignorant to this. So don't get mad at me. I'm just doing the drama thing, right? We're doing it. I mean, I find it very hard to believe that the program had no idea that was happening. I think they wanted to keep it in their back pocket just in case they wanted a bailout, being like, oh, we just found out about this thing you did that was illegal. Oh,
exactly.
Sorry, we can't pay you, or we have to pay you less. Hey, new business is being done. It's a nasty enterprise, and the Bill's going to screw you. Hey, screw him over right back. I'm fine with it because he's been a real jerk throughout this whole thing. But I also wonder if that is enough grounds for them to say, we're not paying you anything, or, you're getting the absolute bare minimum. I don't know what you thought this was.
And it's almost no, we are firing you. We're not making this amicable. Like you F this up and we're going to put the blame on you. And the funny part is too, with the recruiting violations, first of all, I think with all the confusion that is the NIL era, it's really hard to be slammed out with recruiting violations unless it's some illegal shit. But they apparently broke rules. They brought in 70 new players, and they still suck. I think that's the craziest part, too. They tried to turn the whole program around with players. They apparently did it in a shady way, which we don't know the information on. Turned it around, and they're still 2-3. And like you said, they can't beat anybody who's apparently, who's an ACC team, who's FBS. They beat up on, I think, Richmond and Charlotte. And besides that, they've had 3 blowouts.
I had to look up. I didn't know what the logo was. No disrespect to Charlotte, but I don't see you on ESPN very often when 3 times I've watched college football of my own accord.
Yeah. So it's a nightmare. So we just had to come on here and kind of rant about that and rave about that. But it does sound like, again, we have no... And here's the other thing. College football reporting is different because it's not like you kind of have to, sometimes you do, but it's not always sit around and wait for the big guns and the ESPNs to come out and report it. There's a lot of local reporting that goes on. Shout out Kevin Stone here over at New England Football Journal, covers BC, gets a lot of scoops over there. These independents, the Ollie Gordons, the 24/7 Sports, they all kind of cover these teams and they have sources in the know. So we haven't really seen it become official yet, but with these things coming out, it sounds like the end might be near for Bill Belichick's tenure in North Carolina very soon. So, an unfortunate,
I won't be shedding a tear.
I was going to say an unfortunate, crazy situation that, as you know, Taylor, I kind of root for drama and think it's just incredible if this thing goes really south this fast. And again, not that I would necessarily root for it for the kids or even on Bill. He's still a person, but he's really, he's really screwed this thing up.
He's proven himself 100% not a very good person. And I agree. He probably does stuff in the background. He probably donates to charities. He probably does this and that and gives time to certain causes that he cares for. Sure. You also just screwed over a bunch of kids for your own ego. I'm sorry. On my scale, that outweighs it. You're kind of a jerk.
I agree. Hey, he is, and he potentially is going to pay for what he's done to that football program.
And doesn't he want to land on his feet with media or another team?
That was Ollie's thing. Was if he can find a soft landing with another team or in media. Someone in media will give him a bag. I'll say that.
Probably somebody will, but like you want to make sure that you land on your feet as like a clause in you getting out.
Right.
Screw you, bro. What? Figure it out on your own like everybody else. But, he's Bill Belichick, so whatever.
It's crazy.
It's it's me 4 years ago. It would just be, if I had understood the context, no, but like seeing me just be like, this Bill Belichick guy is something else. I would have been stunned. I really was drinking the Kool-Aid back then, but seeing the light.
It was hard not to. It was hard not to. I agree. But at any rate, I'm sure we'll do one of these quick hitter podcasts again when Bill actually does get fired or part ways from UNC. Yay. So we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel here on Patriots Press Pass. But that is our quick hitter talk on Bill Belichick and North Carolina, both sides potentially discussing buyouts after just 5 games into his tenure at North Carolina. That'll do it here on Patriots Press Pass. Rate, review, subscribe here as always for all of your Patriots and Patriots adjacent content. We will be back soon here on the show, so make sure to keep it here. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Peace out, everyone.